Hey, hello guys. Welcome to this new class. It's my pleasure to be here with you. This is our second class, and I decided to record this short video in order to explain the things that we are going to be working on, in order to explain the topic itself. So the idea is to continue learning new things, and the idea as always is to learn uh, about this subject. So remember, this is negotiation and sales techniques. So we are going to be working on that. So please pay close attention to this video. So first start, here we have a brief introduction to call center. So basically the idea is to understand that call centers are centralized offices used for receiving or transmitting a large volume of inquiries by telephone, sometimes by telephone and sometimes by email. So they play a crucial role in customer service and sales. So guys, customer service is really important to take into account when working and when developing everything. So that's why we have call centers. There are new opportunities now here in El Salvador. So the new ways how to deal with people, instead of just working for call center, they are back offices. So back offices are almost the same as call centers, and the difference is that of back offices, they usually work by email. So it's like a backup in another country. For example, I work for a back office here in El Salvador. So they have their company in the United States, specifically in California, but I work for that company here in El Salvador in a back office. So it's centralized on receiving or transmitting inquiries, necessities, or uh, requests that they may have. Okay, so it is really important to take that into account. So now, guys, it's also important to take into account that um, um, last semester we were discussing about call centers. So we were talking about call centers and different types of call centers. So there are three types of call centers. First one is inbound call centers. The second one is outbound call centers, and the third one is blended call centers. So last semester in the subject called customer service, we were talking about these three types of call centers, and basically the first one handles incoming calls. They usually um, call for customer support and everything related to that situation. Second one, outbound, is when you make a call. When often you are selling your selling products, you are asking for some service to be filled out, or all those stuff related to that. And the blended call centers are the ones that can do both incoming and outgoing calls. So that's the big difference between inbound and outbound. And blended is like a mix of both, a mix of inbound and a mix of outbound. So that's good to know, and that's obviously important to take into account, to take into consideration. So, guys, also here we have some key sales techniques. I need you to please pay close attention to this portion, because these key sales techniques are really important when you are trying to sell a product, when you are trying to sell something. You have to apply the principles, you have to apply benefits and some strategies when selling products. So here we have a couple of techniques. So the first one is active listening. So you have to listen carefully what the customer needs, what they are asking for, what they need to. So right after making a recap, right after taking into account what they need. Um, it is also important to build rapport, to highlight benefits over features, to point out to what they need and why they need the product or the benefit or the service. You also have to handle everything after objections. Clothing techniques, you have to take into account every step, everything, and go step by step. Looking forward to get every single detail and do not leave anything apart. Okay, so that's important. Sometimes you forget something, so take into consideration these techniques. So active listening, building rapport, highlight benefits, features, have objections, because sometimes they will say no, I don't want that product because it is not included my uh, in my list, in my checklist, in my box. But you have to handle every situation related to these objections. Okay. Um, Now here we have some negotiation strategies. So some negotiation strategies in order for you to get um, a margin of benefits. So in order for you to get that product or that thing, you must understand customer needs. Okay, sometimes even though if the data needs something, sometimes you need to understand what they are asking for. So they are requiring for uh, a product or a service. Let's imagine that you're asking for on Airbnb in El Salvador and El Cuco, let's say El Cuco. So that you're asking for a service over there. So you have to deal with that negotiation. You have to meet a couple of the situations, and you must be a good speaker in order for you to interact with that people. Okay. Also, offer value-based solutions. So they may have some situations where they may be asking for, hey, why should I get that product or that service? Okay, so you must be offering good products based on solutions, based on what they really need, not what just you are just asking for. You also must be flexible but firm. It means that you must be trying to give them the opportunity to look for new opportunities, look for new products or other products, other services, but perform what you are offering. So if you are offering a product or a service, okay, so you must be firm and you must be given the correct characteristics, the correct um, benefits. So how will you use that? How will you do that? Using persuasive language, okay? Using persuasive language. So to try to convince people, try to gain um, as much information as you can in order for you to transmit the message. You also must be aim for win-win outcomes. That's important. Aim for win-win outcomes. So your objective must be clear. Your goals must be clear, and you must be ready to get everything that you are just pretending to get. Now, here we have some differences in approach by call center type. So, as I told you before in the beginning, we have inbound, we have outbound, and we have blended call centers. Okay, so the inbound, when talking about inbound, you must focus on problem solving, upselling. You must be ready for everything. Okay, then for outbound, you must emphasize cold calling and and you must lead the conversation. Okay, because if you are making a call, you must emphasize why are you calling, why are you offering everything, why are you pretending uh, to the people, to the receiver, that you are giving the correct information. So you are trying to offer a product, you are trying to offer a service to make it worth. Okay, and the blended, you are trying to combine both strategies effectively. You're trying to emphasize, you're trying to focus on problem solving, and you're trying to lead everything in the correct way. So it must depend on the thing that you are giving, you are offering to the people. Why? Because they are real life examples of case studies. So in a telecom company, using outbound calls to upsell data plans, and when you teach support center, converting support costs into product upgrades. So these are real examples. They are real case of studies, because some telecom companies here making calls to offer upgrade their plans. Let's imagine they are selling internet and they have a product or contract term for 3 years or 1 year, and you are just trying to lead the conversation to upgrade our product, to upgrade our service. So it's important to take into account that if you know the product, if you know the service, if you know the contract term, so you must be giving the right service, and probably you will get that project. So be ready, because these are real life samples, case studies. So we are going to be emphasizing more in those examples next class. So here we have a couple of tips for success. These tips for success, the first one is train agents regularly. Then we have use scripts as guides, the rules, and monitor calls for quality, courage, empathy, and patience. So these are general tips, because we all need to get ready. We all need to train and to be trained as well. We don't need sometimes to have rules, but we need some scripts and guidelines. We need to monitor. If you are a team lead in your company and your call center, so you also need to monitor the rest of your team, just to make sure that everyone in your team is doing his or her job at the office. Encourage them to be patient. Encourage them to have some empathy, because it's not a good deal. It's a very difficult deal to treat people. And lastly, effective negotiation and sales techniques vary by call center type. It's important to take that into account. So depending on the type of call center, if it is inbound, if it is outbound, if it is blended call center. So there are a couple of tips for negotiating, for selling something. So there are a couple of techniques. So we are going next class. We are going to be working more on that. We are going to be giving some tips, and we are going to be finding the key to succeed and to be successful in life, in real life call center back. So guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope this you find this interesting, and I hope you take some of these tips into consideration when making deals and when selling a product or a service. You must be ready. You must understand what you're selling, what you are offering, because some providers or some customers, they need to understand everything, and you must be prepared to give them the correct service, and to give them what they really need. So guys, thank you for watching this video again, and see you next time. Bye bye, and take care. See you later.